Kobe Bryant is my favorite basketball player. If you know me, you know this without a doubt. Because if you bring up his name in any negative connotation, I'll be there to defend him. And I've gotten in so many arguments about who's the GOAT, Jordan or Kobe, LeBron or Kobe, or how come Kobe's not in the conversation more than LeBron against Jordan. And I would literally look up stats. I would look up anything to prove my point of view. I would watch videos. I would rewatch games. Um, and honestly, I do believe he's the best. Some of it's biased because I did watch him, but I do believe he was the most skilled. But it doesn't mean that I need to argue every time his name is brought up, right? And I remember me and two of my roommates, one of them being my best friend, would get in such heated arguments. Sometimes they would last from 9, 10 at night all the way until like 4 or 5 in the morning. There was one time one argument lasted that long that the sun started to rise, and my best friend and I just started laughing because we were like, this is so stupid. And it really is. But this isn't the only thing I like to argue about, and this is the reason why you can't bring up politics, right? I mean, that's something I've never been interested in, so I don't have an opinion on it. So when anyone brings up politics, I'm someone who will playfully joke about it, just because I just don't care. And other people do that when they hear me talking about Kobe or defending Kobe. So, but if we're getting defensive and we're arguing and we're trying to prove we're right, why are we doing that? We're doing that because we're trying to control the other person's perspective. Because if we can do that, we could either get approval of being right, or we could avoid rejection by avoiding being wrong. So the reason why we ever defend something or always try and be right is to either go towards pleasure to get approval, or to avoid pain, which is rejection. There may be other signs that we have this issue. I know for me, I will be in the shower, or I'll be in bed watching something. I'll be thinking of ways I could say or do something to control the way someone thinks or feels. And sometimes this works, and that's why it's addicting, because once it works a couple times, you're like, man, you want to keep doing it. But eventually a chink in the armor is going to be revealed. Someone's going to feel that you're always trying to control them, or that you're calibrated, that you've thought and planned about saying something, and they're going to sense that vibe. And no one, if someone feels like they're being tricked or manipulated or sold on something, they kind of back away, right? Like when you walk into a store and you have that person right there, like, oh, let me know if you need anything, or hey, here's this sale, right? It's like, ugh. Or if there's a homeless person that comes up to you and is like asking for something, or holds up a sign, you kind of want to look away and you feel tension. And I think this is the problem when you try and control others and you get defensive if it doesn't work, or if you want to argue, they start to just back away, right? If you lash out at someone, they feel threatened, they feel scared, so they want to keep their distance. And if anyone sees that you're reactive or have anger, it shows insecurity. So you already lose value in someone else's eyes if you're already being that reactive. Of course, we can have our opinions, but we also have to realize that our opinions are very subjective. They're not objective, and what someone else believes is true is not going to be what's true in our eyes. But at the end of the day, we have to almost reflect and realize, is arguing worth losing friends, family, relationships, losing connections in networking wise or at work? Is arguing and being right worth the consequence? Because I really believe, yes, I think we're motivated by joy. We go towards things that we like, but I think we're more motivated by pain. If we realize how much pain something's causing us, then we'll think enough is enough and do something about it, right? So if we go through and remember all the times that arguing kind of hurt a relationship, or is creating tension within a relationship and we want that relationship to be mended, or if we want to make more relationships or attract more higher quality relationships, we have to let go of being right and realize arguing, being right, controlling is just not worth it in the long run. Now, I say this, but I still fall into the habit of arguing. And, it's an addiction, right? Like, controlling is an addiction, negative emotions are addicting. And so it's like, how do we notice ourselves getting pulled in, wanting to say or do something, and kind of reel ourselves back? So we have to become aware of how we're feeling and then just breathe and relax. And this is you're gonna feel tension when doing this, because you're gonna feel like you have to say or do something, but you just breathe, relax, and you say it's okay. You keep doing this over and over and over again until the negative emotions are kind of just evaporated from your being. Because the emotion is, just think of the emotion just in all of your cells, and then you kind of just have to let them go in each of your cells little by little by little. And then you'll know you're doing this right when you get triggered and you're able to breathe, relax, and you're just like, you just say it is what it is. Or you just don't even care to argue. You just feel so content and light that feeling negative just doesn't feel good anymore. You almost have to re-addict yourself to positive emotions. And positive emotions doesn't always mean high energy, joy, excitement, super happy. It could actually mean just peace, contentment, lightness. I think that's what we're all really searching for, is that chill leisure vibe. There's a guru, spiritual guru named Sadhu Guru, and he has like 8-9 million subscribers on YouTube, and his videos are really good. In one of his videos, he talked about marijuana and getting high and should you use it to reach enlightenment. And he just says, I feel stoned all the time, because he's trained himself to be in that very peaceful, relaxed state, almost like a drunk, high, inebriated state. So we just have to learn how to get ourselves back to that and prioritize that over being right, arguing, or defending Kobe and why he's the greatest of all time.